One. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to be doing kind of a short and a long-term review of the BOLING BL-P1 Pocket LED RGB video light. That's a hell of a name. I picked this up for $145 over at Adorama in New York City on VIP with 2 days shipping, so that's always nice. So the reason why I got this light is a couple different things. Now I'm going to be doing a full three-way battle over 3 different lights. It's going to be this one, which is the BOLING BL-P1 against the ALMX and the ALMW. And I'll kind of be making some references throughout this, but again, I'm going to be doing a whole entire video based on that. So after my initial research, I decided to get the ALMX light. And then after doing a little bit more research, I found the ALMW, and then that was also compared to this one, again, which is the BL-P1 Pocket Light. And after I got done with that, I got this light. I started using it. I've been using all the lights for various types of videos that you guys have been seeing, and also I'll be using it for various types of photo shoots too. And I think I finally figured out my lighting setup, and this is going to be one of my key lights. So again, when I found this, I was very excited. I've never heard of the company before, but after seeing the design and finally getting it into my hands and using it in some practical applications, I'm extremely excited about the purchase and acquisition. So again, this is a company called BOLING, B-O-L-I-N-G. I'm assuming just like bowling, except without the W. I like to base a company, my perception, on their packaging. Now, I've mentioned this before, and the reason is because if they take the time to design the packaging the right way, to me, it's a premium product. Now, when you first put your hands on the packaging, it's kind of like that matte black, kind of a sexy finish. It almost reminds me of an iPhone case. But I like to use various types of boxes for other things too, so you can use this for storage, and I do it all the time with my nicer cases. So let me just do the unboxing real quick. So right away, as you see, we have some stickers. Now, not every company includes stickers. I like stickers for a couple different reasons. I might throw them like on my luggage, or depending on what I'm using, maybe even on my MacBook Pro, which I've done in the past, but I don't have a case on my brand new one. So they have the branding of red, black, and white, and I think it's some of the most powerful branding that I've seen in a while as far as colors. Now, any kind of company uses black and white or black and red or the combination of the three. I think it's great because it shows professionalism, it's powerful, and it definitely stands out. So that's just one of the light stickers you get here. And then here's the other one. Now, another way I judge a company is based on cases. Now, I'm going to be doing a full review of various types of cases that I've used for different things and how I utilize them for other things at the same time. So this kind of reminds me of an iPhone case. It also reminds me of a Leatherman. I've had several for work being a professional tour manager and producer. So this is really nice. This is Velcro over here. And then you have this, which is kind of reminds me of the military. I was in the Navy for an extremely short period of time. Those are just straps. These are snaps per se, but they're pretty. I would put this very high quality as far as the design is and this and everything. And then they're not really, not Velcro, but they don't stretch, but at the same time, they're pretty good. So you put that into your belt. I think this would be a good thing to have on site, whether it's not for this light, but maybe using your iPhone or small SD cards or something that you need to carry and have access to, but you don't want to put it in your pocket, maybe like on the small of your back. And I think I might be using this on site for my iPhone. I'm about to get the new iPhone SE. I'm still on an SE2 because I love it so much. And then here's another nice thing they also include. So this is Velcro over here, which is a really good idea. So you might be able to maybe put something out here that's also Velcro in case you want to put that on there. I don't know if that might work for you. Like I said, just trying to give you guys ideas. Here's the Allen wrench key. Now the Allen wrench key is for something I'll show you later with the articulating arm. But again, it's a very high quality case for a product. Again, the price point is $145, and I would expect a company with any type of product that is over $100 to include a really nice case. Let me put this to the side. Just the instructions, which nobody ever reads, and then that's just your serial number in there, and that's it. Here's another thing they include, obviously. This is the USB-C to USB cable. Now, the reason why they include this and not a USB-C to USB-C, because as I've noticed this with other lights, so the Aperture ALMW and the ALMX, this is the same thing. So you cannot charge USB-C to USB-C, like, for example, with a MacBook Pro charger. It has to be USB to USB-C. You can just use the adapter, but it's a decent little cord. It's extremely thin. I would like it to be thicker, but it does kind of have like that rubbery feel, which is really nice. But as far as quality of the cord, I wouldn't put it at a 10, maybe like at a 5 or a 6. The ALMW is definitely a better cord. Now, they also include, the 1/4 screw, which is good. I'm not too happy with the quality of this. This is metal. I believe it's metal. That's rubber, which is really nice. So, just in case you tighten it down, it doesn't get too tight and you can kind of have some give over there. This is nice that they included, which is a 1/4 to 5/8, just in case you need it for the 5/8. However, this feels like plastic. It doesn't feel like metal at all. And I just like when everything's aluminum. And I would like them to have actually included either a 1/4 screw over here or a 5/8. And I'm going to bring in two products that I like using. So, for example, this is coming off of a Felix $3,000 lighting setup that I used for a podcast with Nancy Swiderpelt, a 4-time Olympian, which I'll include in the top corner. This is one of my favorite ones for the top of the camera. I actually use this on my Zoom H6, and I might be using it on a Zoom F1 if I can figure that out. It's just really nice. I would put this at right around a $20 price point. This is really nice, but this is the 1/4 screw, so you can use this adapter on other things, which is nice too. And then this is the one you included with the ALMX light and not the ALMW light, because they don't include one. That's just one by Aperture. So, for example, I'm using this right now on my podcast setup, which I'm talking on with Zoom H6. That's a 5/8, and it also, you can obviously have the adapter to the 1/4, which they do include. So that's really nice too. So I would definitely give them maybe a D or an F on this. So here's the actual product. They include a nice little instruction guide. I actually really like this. It's transparent. You can kind of see where everything's at. Just a 270 degrees of rotation, which is really nice. They call it the quick operation guide. So let me go over a couple of the specs real quick here. Like I said, it's $145. The wide color temperature is really nice too. So you go everything from warm all the way to cold, from 2500, and that's all the way to 8500. The brightness is obviously from 0 to 100%, and you get a 360 degrees of full color saturation, and the colors are really nice. So, for example, on the ALMW, you have to use gels. On this one, you don't have to use gels. If you want to go for a certain look for a photo shoot, or if you're just doing product shoots and you want to just play around with light, which is also nice, you don't have to worry about it in post. You maybe get some unique effects with that. Also, I think this would be a good light for using like for portrait photography. Let's just say you're in a doctor's office and you're looking for a quick light that you can use. I think this would be perfect. And obviously, this is kind of made out of aluminum. It is made out of aluminum, but like an aircraft grade aluminum. And it feels really sexy and kind of sleek. And then also the articulating arm is made with aluminum, with aircraft aluminum. So it's very slim. I would compare this to weight to the ALMW and the ALMX. They're right around all about the same. And then you have the 1/4 screw, and then you have the RGB color mode, which is 360 colors altogether. And then the battery is 2930. So that gives you, I believe, maybe a little over an hour at 100%. Now I'm running this on a USB-C. Typically when I've used this in the past, and I've used this light along with the ALMX and the ALMW for various types of lighting shoots. So for example, right now, as I'm lighting this, I'm using the ALMW here, I'm using the ALMX here, and a second ALMX here. So I think for my lighting setup, I'm going to decide on using this light, one ALMW, and also one ALMX. So let me take it out of the package real quick. That's the other package. So this kind of reminds me of an iPhone case, like I said before. It's really nice. If you guys maybe want to use this for various types of small cords, just for storage, that's what I tend to use my nicer boxes for. So when you put it in your hand, it's a little heavy. Now, For something this nice, I would expect this to be this heavy. Some people don't like heavy lights on their camera, and I call them weight weenies, and kind of from cycling because I do like to cycle. So as you put in your hand, this is brushed aluminum. This is aluminum over here. That's the USB-C. That's power. And those are just the various side settings. Now, compared to indestructibility, which, like I said, I'm going to be doing a three-way comparison with the aperture lights. The aperture lights are definitely more robust and could take a big beating, and I've dropped those a couple of times. This, I think, can take a beating, but nearly not as much as there. So, for example, if you drop it on the side, these are beveled over here, and this is more of a square. So here's the articulating arm that I was telling you about. I love this thing. This is probably my favorite part of the light. It is my favorite part. This is a little bit, you need a little bit of strength to get this out, but that's for a reason. So, for example, when I've used this light already, I use something called night ties for a lot of things for work and also for photography. So I have a tripod shooting straight down a Manfrotto 190 Go, and I just use the night ties, put this over here. They're basically rubber and like copper inside, and you can kind of, put this like this, various types of things. So for example, if all you have on site is a very small tripod or something, you don't need these other articulating arms. This is great for having that. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or maybe that's 7 or 8, 1/4 screws. And the 1/4 screws are phenomenal. I would definitely put this quality as top-notch 10 plus, because on some products that you buy, the actual CNCing is not that good, and it could strip out everything that you have, and this is definitely not going to strip out. So this is what the Allen key is used for. It's always nice to have an extra one on site just in case, because you never know. And then these are the kind of like the star screws. I'm not sure what size they are, maybe like a 1 or a 2. So, okay, let me flip this around real quick. So here's the back. And like I said, this is the full color gamut that you can go through. That's the USB-C. So you can run this power all day on a USB-C. Remember, it's got to be USB-C to USB unless you have the adapter. That's the set point over here. So let me just turn this on. So this is all the way on 8400, which is the coldest light. Flip that around. And that's on 100. I'm sorry, 8500 goes all the way. Let me dim it all the way. So this is all the way dim. That's on 27. That's on 2. And then that's back to 100 again. All the way down, all the way up. And let me put it on the warm setting real quick. I'm sorry, that's the RGB setting. So the more you click this, you get different types of colors. So that's where you can start cycling through your colors. Just like that. Again, it goes all the way up to 8500, and it also tells you the H and the S and the temperature right over here on the back, which is really nice. And then when it's charging, it will tell you that it's charging. So let me turn it over to the warm versus the cold. Hold on a second here. So that's some of the colors you get there. Again, that's the other colors you get. So that's all the way cold, warm, and this is all the way, I'm sorry, that's all the way blue. I'm sorry, that's all the way cold. And then that's all the way up. And that's all the way down. And let me see if I can get the coldness here. But you can go from warm all the way to cold and cold all the way to warm. And the settings are amazing. Like I said, this is might be my favorite light. I just wish it was a little bit more weatherproof, because the ALMW light is 100% water resistant and dust proof with a water rating on there. So this thing, for example, if you're going to be taking this out in the desert or various types of dusty places, I think it'll work fine. As far as getting it wet, I think it's going to be splash proof. I don't know about waterproof, just because there's nothing over here on the ALMW. You actually have a top part over here. So as far as dropping it, I think you'd be fine too. I would maybe put this at like a 7 or an 8, or maybe like a 6 or a 5 as far as durability. Again, that's compared to the MW, but if you're going to be inside, I think this light would be great. It looks sexy, it looks good. I think your client will be very impressed with it. So let me just go again through the colors. Hold on a second here. Turn that off. So that's purple. Just to give you guys an idea. Different types of colors. That's all the way down. That's all the way up. And that's on the warm setting. And that's the cold setting. All the way down, all the way up. And it's very bright. It's extremely bright. I like working with colder light better. I just feel it's got a better tone, better crispness, and it really depends on what you're shooting. So for example, if you're shooting maybe like a matte black type of a finish on something, I have a lot of matte black cycling products I'm going to be shooting for photo shoots. I think this would be great. So a couple of things that I really like about the light. I actually love this arm. This is probably my favorite thing about the light is the arm right over here, because there's so much you can do with this. You just need a very small tripod, maybe like a small Manfrotto, or maybe, for example, like a Joby. I'm using a Joby 5K right now too. And you got the full color gamut in case you want to go that route. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be using these colors, but it's also nice to have. So for example, on the ALMW, you have to use gels. On this one, you don't. And the battery life is right around the same. The ALMW is a little bit longer, more of a rectangle, but as far as brightness, I would put them nearly at 100%. Okay, so let me turn this around really quick and then turn it off. So like I said, the battery life on this, I think it's a little bit more than an hour. I've not tried it. I think the charging, depending on how you charge it, fast charging, USB-C, I think I got this in right around an hour on a 2019 MacBook Pro charger. That's with the 16-inch. So if anybody has any questions, let me know. Just to give everybody an idea, again, of what I'm shooting with right now, because a lot of people have been asking that question. So for example, I'm shooting with 3 different lights. So we have the ALMW here, shooting straight down at right around 70%. The ISO is, I think, at 200 on the Canon EOS R. We have 2 other small key lights, which is the ALMX, right over here, right over here. They're both on tripods. One's on a RAM mount. As far as my camera, I have an RF 24-105. That's shooting straight down at 24 frames a second in 4K. I'm also using a Manfrotto 190 Go with X Pro heads. And what's nice about the Manfrotto 190 Go is the arm articulates out and you can shoot straight down. And you can't do that on the other tripods. It's kind of hard to find one. It's a good tripod. I've been with Manfrotto for years. I have other products by them too. One of my favorite bags is a Manfrotto. Then we're also shooting with a Canon 80D, just in case I need the side shot with a 10-18. That's at 1080p at 60 frames. I'm also using a Rode Video Mic Pro Plus as a backup mic. I'm about to be getting the NTG on Monday, so I'm looking forward to reviewing that too. And then just for giggles, I'm actually using a GoPro Hero 8 in Super View on time lapse just to see how that looks. I might use it, I might not. And then for the mic setup, I'm trying something different today. So typically I shoot with a Zoom H6 with a stereo mic, and that's currently on a toner stand, kind of like an articulating arm, used for podcasting type setup, which I really like. And I just bought the Zoom F1 with the lav mic. And although the lav mic is not the best, it's good. But if I had to pick right now between the lav mic and with the stereo mic and a Zoom H6, I like the stereo mic and a Zoom H6. However, I can put the stereo mic on the F1, except I don't have the adapter for that. So if anybody has any questions, please let me know. I'm looking for any type of criticism. You guys kind of like this setup. No, by the way, so this is a tablecloth I bought from Amazon. And the reason why I bought that is because my first couple shoots, and I'm reshooting everything now because of this, I was getting too much light bouncing off the bottom, and this kind of saturates the light and drowns out the light a little bit, so I'm not getting just light going up. So like I said, you guys have any questions, let me know. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Again, I'm going to be doing a complete kind of shootout between, again, the P1 Bowling with the ALMW and also the ALMX, and they're all within $60 of each other. You guys have a great day. Go shoot, stay safe, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Bye.